Hi guys, welcome back for another one. We're doing here Transport Fever 2, our Apex challenge. Every product, every city on a tropical map, so plenty of water we need to, navigate around. Anyways, let's zoom out here, and the first thing we're going to do in this episode is we've been building passengers in the last couple episodes. If you haven't checked them out, please go check them out. The last two, we've been focusing all around passengers and getting these lines going. I may have to put more junctions in here. As I believe I know for a fact our passenger line is faster than our goods line. That kind of sucks, but that is what it is. All right. Anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to manage this vehicle real quick, and we are going to duplicate it. Do we have enough passengers to cover 2 trains? Probably not, but I'm assuming I can fix that problem very shortly. So, in the last episode, we built a railroad track from Gresham the whole way out to Madison. Currently, there is nothing on that route, and that's what we're going to fix in this episode. But before we unleash the trains to Madison, we are going to have an intercity route going here in Madison. So Madison's not one of the bigger cities. You can take a look at it here. It is actually the second smallest city behind Winston-Salem, who has nothing going for it right now. It is just sitting there growing 10% because we didn't care to put anything there. Don't worry, Winston-Salem's going to find its day in the limelight here very soon, but for now, it's going to remain where it is. Anyways, without wasting more time, let's go ahead, get some buildings, get some passenger stops. And one of the things that I do need to address or even think about is when it comes to these stations right now, I'm putting down one of these little drop spots, which I'll just put one, actually just put it right here. Now, which is fine getting passengers to the station, but the problem is when you have like 50 plus passengers offloading from a train station and going to this depot to make it around your city, we are going to lose some of those passengers. This can't hold 50. I believe you can only hold up to like maybe like 30 or 40. Did it tell me what you can hold? Oh, I can hold 60. Okay, so in the above 60, we're going to lose passengers. So it's something we need to keep in mind, that we may need to put down a proper what do they want to call them in this game? A bus and tram station. But for now, we can get away with just the bus and tram stop. Hopefully remember to do the upgrades. Now, I don't need to put anything down here. It's going to go from here the whole way. We'll have it park on this side first. And then we'll have them come up here. And down here. And then over here before heading back to the station. So let's go ahead and get our tools in for tram lines. All right, and that should be good to go. We're going to put our tram station. I don't really want to put it the whole way down here. All right, yeah, let's go off of this. Tram track, yes. Is what it is. All right, we can live with that. All right, and then let's put that to keep. Buildings and our tram depot. And we'll go ahead and before we put anything on, we gotta make the route. Made the tram lines, but not the route. New line. Go make it purple. We're going to start from here. Go to here, here, down to here, over here, and back down to the beginning. And that is our inner city. Madison. And let's get 2 to start. And there they go. All right, we're going to speed up time here just to make sure things cycle through. I'm not expecting too much passenger movement until we get a train over here. So now it's time to go over here to Gresham. Select the little train station here. And we're going to not configure. We're going to go to the line, manage line. So after Gresham, we're going to add a station. And it's going to go Palm Bay. Nope, that's Everett. We lost our direction somewhere. All right, so we're going to go down here. Now, I'll talk about this here in a second. And we're going to go and we want to stop back at Gresham on our way back to Everett. And that will help complete that line. And that's why I threw a second one on just to begin this line here. So now, this is something I didn't do in my last playthrough. My last playthrough, I did not do any 3 cities connecting with one train covering all of them. The reason I'm doing it in this playthrough, actually, which way do I want to explain this first? So the reason why I didn't do it in a playthrough is so I can manage each line or each city to city line and make sure I had the appropriate amount of vehicles on them. So if I had one line that was definitely more efficient than another one, well, it had more vehicles or bigger, better vehicles running on it than a line with a lot less passengers. With that said, in this one, I am connecting all 3 of these up just because it makes some logical sense to me that a train would just keep going on the line before turning around. But I also want to kind of, one is experiment to see how much of an effect it has on the overall, like, managing of trains. And 2, I think it wouldn't be much different. Like, obviously, I'm not expecting much passengers to come out of Madison, or actually much passengers wanting going to Madison. So I expect to lose some here, but I fully think I'll make it up and more between the Everett and Gresham line, and then having Madison hooked up to them should benefit Madison a lot. That's what my thinking is. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it is kind of a little bit experimental on my part in this one, wanting to do this. Back in the original Transport Fever series, I would do this all the time, hook up 3 or 4 cities and have a train run between all of them, and it would it'd make buku bucks. I do know they seem to change some mechanics in Transport Fever 2 when it comes to doing the exact same thing, but like I said, I'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. Now, the other thing I want to do, we saw this early in the episode. Here comes our first train. Awesome. Now, there's probably some shenanigans here. Normally, since it's the end of the line, all 55 passengers should be getting off here in Madison. But because I think this is the first time that it's taking this route, we're not going to see... We may not see anyone exit. It might just go back out full. Which I'm not going to complain, because 55 passengers... actually, no, I think it's the distance they're supposed to go, so I don't think it's going to make me any more money. Now, passengers moving from Everett to Madison would make me a ton of money. And actually, let's go ahead and rename this line while we're at it. Manage line. Let's add that there. Yeah, like I said, I'm really not expecting anyone to get off because I think this is the first time making it round. Yeah, a full 55. Now, the next time, the next train to cycle should fix this problem. Yeah, all right. Make sure. Come on. All right, yeah, I wanted to see this video. I want to make sure they're not using this crossing pattern. Okay, so everything's working as intended. I really want to see this line in action, but we'll wait and see. All right, we have a little bit of buildup going here. I don't think I need a full 2, but because we are going to have some passengers come through, let's go ahead and put 2 more on. All right, so while we're waiting for this thing to... Oh, wow, there's a lot that want to go to Madison. I was not expecting that. All right, hopefully this is now fixed. Yeah, it looks fixed. All right, cool. So now everything's operating properly. I cannot believe 55 want to go to Madison. I honestly was not expecting this. I thought for sure Madison would not be getting a full load. So we need to keep an eye on this because we should definitely be adding more wagons to our trains if we're constantly running full, right? The math on a passenger one is basically if it's running 50% full all the time, you're breaking even. Anything above 50% full, you're making a huge profit. And the fact that if we're running 55 full everywhere, we could definitely afford to up through the wagon, because like I said, if we're just missing a few passengers on a full train, you're still making good profit. So I definitely want to add more wagons for sure. Madison's great. I'm gonna take a coffee break here. Can't make it go any faster, unfortunately. So we're just watching this together. This is normally how I manage things off camera. This is probably why when you guys see me between episodes have a couple more million in my bank, is because I'm checking up on some routes, looking at some routes, you know, seeing if they need to be addressed yet or not. And the more routes we have as we keep going, right, the more, I don't know, we'll call it micromanaging, you know, takes place. All right, so we're definitely not going to get full on the way back, but Madison hasn't really had growth yet because it hasn't gotten a ton of passengers. The first time it's getting a ton of passengers. Now the passengers that just loaded up in Madison have two destinations. Either one, they're going to Gresham, which they won't make me as much money, or two, they're going to Everett, which will make me a lot more money. It's hard to tell which their destination is, you know, even when they're on the platform or boarding the train. But we do know we have about 50, we should have about 55 people, but once again, the line might not be fully established yet. We should have about 55 coming down here that need to be sorted out, but we'll keep an eye on this. We may need more trams, but for now it's great. Madison should be experiencing huge growth here soon. It was our second lowest. It should cloud the charts. I think it should pass Palm Bay. I don't think it will reach Torrance, but it should pass Palm Bay. So what's next? Obviously with making money in passengers, it's really hard to get away from right now, right? As long as it's making me money and I don't need to add it, because I'd rather wait to have bigger and better stuff to really put together the production chains for all the goods. Goods help my cities grow, so it is very important to get them going. But I mean, if I can hold it out until better vehicles are available, it makes better sense, because I can put things together and rarely have to touch them. With that said, we did, a couple episodes ago, we did upgrade these guys here. I don't think I checked them for the rate. It's ships, please. Oh, 193. Yeah, that's much. I think that's much better. That's closer to the 50 I was fully expecting. Meaning it has a good balance sheet. Well, it did have a good balance sheet. It went negative. Hopefully it's unloading here soon to help out the budget sheet again. Yeah, just unloaded. Everything looks good here. Like I said, we'll definitely be maxing this stuff out once we get better road vehicles. All right. Anyways, back to passengers. So focusing on what we already have established, knowing making us money, and probably trying to add more to it. We have Palm Bay up here. Palm Bay, I think I talked about, you know, bringing people over through ship, but I was like, I don't know if it's gonna have a big enough demand for ships. Eventually it could grow to have a big enough demand to have ships go between Gresham and Palm Bay. Or I could build a train line that goes down and kind of curving through these islands through here and then V'ing off one direction to Madison, one direction to Gresham, and then actually have two different train lines coming out of Palm Bay, one for Madison, one for Gresham. I don't know if I want to do that, because if I'm going to do that, I'd probably just have it go to one like Gresham. And then, because I mean, yeah, I probably would just want it to go to one city and not both, since those two are already connected. I don't know, but Palm Bay is not what I'm thinking about doing. What I'm thinking about doing is, since I haven't bit a bullet on anything losing me money yet, I'm thinking about trying to bite a bullet here on Winston-Salem. We have nothing going for it, and I really want to touch this city, as this is going to be the one that's probably going to struggle the most to demand even 4 goods before we wrap up our Apex challenge. Kind of like how we seen that same thing go down. I think it was at Green Bay in our last playthrough, where we struggled to stabilize it to demand 4 goods. So with that said, how are we going to do this? Well, what we're going to do here is Winston-Salem's going to basically connect in I'm going to connect it into a V somewhere around here, but we're only going to have a passenger line going from Gresham on one side, and then we're going to deliver construction materials down on a train. It's probably going to lose us a ton of money on the other side, and we're going to help the city grow. It's probably going to lose us money. I'm fully expecting it to do so, but it should help, you know, getting it established and growing, because if it can grow, prevent us from losing money, especially as the ages force us to upgrade and move on to bigger and better things, and those bigger and better things are also more expensive things. So with that said, let's go ahead. I don't know how much we're going to get done in this. Actually, we might be able to get quite a bit done in this playthrough. Let's see. I pretty much settled that I want my train depot coming off this edge here. So let's go ahead. Let's do passengers. Trains. All right. I said I want to come off this edge. All right. I'll deal with hooking it up to the rest of the city here soon. I just want to focus on building the train tracks. So we're gonna go along this ridge, over here along this ridge. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be very tight everywhere we go. And then we're gonna cross it over and we're gonna go along this ridge before coming out this way. And we're just gonna head up straight. So around here, there's plenty of open space in here right now for me to connect the V. So it's going to connect up right here. One allowing, construction material to make its way down, and then also allowing passengers from Gresham, create a passenger line between Gresham and Winston-Salem. Gresham's probably going to be one of my bigger cities. I'm not going to lie, because it's probably also going to get a route between Gresham and Torrance. It's probably going to get a route. So yeah, it should be popping. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to fast forward build here, because once again, it's going to take a lot of thinking and not a whole lot of saying. So guys, enjoy this fast forward. All right, guys, this episode is already running long by my estimates, so I kind of did a little extra, put in a line here for Winston-Salem. We're going to get this line going next time, and the train lines for both construction material and passengers to reach down to Winston-Salem, all in the next episode, and then maybe we'll look for even more expansion if we can make that profitable. But guys, if you're enjoying this Transport Fever series so far, you guys know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to leave me a comment. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.